Let's welcome everybody to yet again another exciting edition of the Madiba official show with me here, the Madiba official. It's time for another exciting edition of this show. And please, if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button over there and kindly help out by also sharing the video. So in case of any new video, those that you are sharing the video to will be able to get it on time. And please, as you are sharing and subscribing, can also leave your comment in the comment section for us so that we can be able to help and make sure the show is better for all of us. And thank you for always sticking and staying with us over here. It's been a while since we came away with a video. Things hadn't been well with us, but we thank God that we are back into our usual health, coming here to serve and serve Mother Ghana. Now, without much ado, let's set the ball rolling into today's issues. Today, we are coming to look at the issues happening in the camp of the Porcupine Warriors. That is Asante Kotoko, something that I think is not good for each and every level of our football. That's Ghana football. You might think that you are a follower of the Porcupine Warriors. So if Kotoko is declining, you don't care. But don't forget, as of 2014, the South African Premier League had only one slot in the CAF Champions League after the emergence of Mamelodi Sundowns into the highest table of, that is South African football, pumping money into their football, and that's their club, and that is under the current CAF president, that is Patrice Motsepe. They've been able to reclaim that slot that they lost, and currently, if you look at even the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederation Cup, the South African Premier Soccer League is the only league in Africa to have two representatives in both competitions in Africa. They have Marumo Gallants in the CAF Confederation Cup semi-finals, a team that is lying in the 14th position on the South African Premier Soccer League, and Mamelodi Sundowns. So they have two teams in the CAF Confederation Cup and the CAF Champions League, because one of the giants rose from Islamabad, and it made sure that they can be able to reclaim back their slot that they lost. Now, when it comes to Ghana, the two most glamorous clubs in this country has been Kotoko and other folk for time without number. But gradually, they are fading out of the system. You might say that last season Kotoko won the Ghana Premier League and other folk won the year before. But as yourself, prior to Kotoko winning last season, they had gone about 8 years without winning the Ghana Premier League. Other folk had gone about 11 years without winning the Ghana Premier League. And after they won, look at what is happening this season. So if you are a lover of the Ghana Premier League, this should be a concern issue to you, because a big club like Kotoko, and you look at the players playing for the club without any commitment or whatsoever to the club. They play as if they are playing for just a mean club, not least the most successful club in this country. And if you have taken an opportunity, what do? You grab it with all fingers. But no, these players play as if they have nothing whatsoever to show for. Even when they are playing at home. Look, this is the Ghana Premier League, that most clubs are good when they are playing at home. So you look at the home table in the Ghana Premier League, and you have teams like Bechem United having 36 points at home, throwing just 9 points. Then you come to Kotoko, who was supposed to be the club that does better when they are playing under the floodlights. But recent time, look at what is happening. And one thing that pushed me into even doing this video is the fact that they couldn't defeat a team that is battling for survival in the Ghana Premier League. And as a matter of fact, prior to the weekend games, that team had not won even a single game away in the Ghana Premier League, and that is Tamale City, a team that whenever they travel, they don't do well, and that club nearly defeated Kotoko at their own backyard, if not for some poor officiating. The Samson Eduku goal should have stood. That is first goal. That was ruled out for offside should have been, that is a goal, because if you look at the time that the pass was coming, he was in line with the last Kotoko defender. So what it meant was that that goal should have stood. But for some poor officiating, that goal didn't stand. They also hit the upright in the second half. It tells you that this was a game that Kotoko could have lost. And I could not recall the number of times that the goalkeeper of Tamale City came in to make saves after save to save the club. If it was to be the case, you'd have pardoned the team that Kotoko threw everything that they had at the Tamale City team, only to some good goalkeeping that denied them the opportunity of winning the game. But no, that's not what we saw. We saw Kotoko that could have lost the game. And this is a club that always parade themselves to having the best players in our league. If not for that stupendous goal from Rocky Jomana, a goal out of nothing from that youngster, it means that this game could have been for Tamale City. And for how long will these players learn that they are playing for Kotoko, for God's sake? Even without a coach, you are supposed to up your game. You are supposed to show commitment and dedication towards this club. Because this is a club that pays well, a club that always have retentive memory, that remembers what each and every player does for it. So after your playing days, that's when you realize how important it was to have played well for Kotoko. I always use Opoku Nti's own as an example. He was the last player to score a goal for the Porcupine Warriors in Africa. And look at how he has been heralded, or how he's been lauded across the length and breadth of Africa. The last Champions League draw was conducted by him. Even for the fact that he did well for Kotoko, would he have been getting such an acclaim? Look at Ahmed Simbaturi, a foreigner, always thanking Kotoko each and every opportunity that you have. And even now, he's saying that even if he has to call, come and play for the club for free, he will do it. But these players have gotten it on a silver platter. And I repeat, on a silver platter, because these players, for me, they don't even merit to wear the jersey of Kotoko. For a Division 2, Division 1 player to get an opportunity to play with Kotoko, you have to play with everything. Play with every blood and sweat that you have. And if it doesn't work out, you know you did. Enoch Morrison, I'm not singling him out. But look, Enoch Morrison at the beginning of the season was doing well. What has happened? Now look at Enoch Morrison. He plays as if he has nothing on the line. His passes at times are atrocious, to say the least. Then you look at against Japan. So because of you, that's why they let Nate leave the club. Now look at the kind of poor crosses and output in defending shambolic one that he's been putting in recent matches for Kotoko. So with these players doing this, can they one day look back on their stint at Kotoko with all the fondness that they're supposed to have? Look, this is the club that they came and met. And if they don't take care, they will be the worst team since the name of Ponsa took over as the CEO of Kotoko. Even when they were playing home away from home in the 2020-21 season, Kotoko were second on the league log. Even when, I repeat, they were playing outside the Baba Yara Sports Stadium because of the renovation, they were second on the league log to the eventual winners, Hearts of Oak. Last season, that they played almost all the matches at home, they won the Ghana Premier League. This season, you people have been playing your matches at home. It was 3 o'clock. And you realize that some matches that you played in the evening, under the floodlights, you're winning 5 and 4 of those matches. So now the games have been shifted from the usual scorching sun of 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. where you can relax and have a very good atmosphere. Supporters coming in their numbers at least to support you. You have the cool and breeze of the atmosphere to also be able to give you a serene environment to play your passes and play your game. But you sat at home and lost to Midiama. That's the only defeat, but the drawn games have been too much. That's the reason why the club is not at the top. Because if you look at the points between Kotoko and the top, that is Indiana with 51 points. What it meant is that if, let's say, I'm not saying they pick up all their wins, if Kotoko was to match up the best home team in the Ghana Premier League in Bechem United, Kotoko would have been just a point adrift, that is Indiana Stars. If they were to match Bechem United with 36 points, that is picking at home, it means they would have been 50 points on the league log, and that means just a point below it only Indiana Stars on the league log. So it tells you how shambolic that they've been at home. But some of us have been giving them the plaudits when need arises. But this time that we are supposed to tell them the truth, you should be committed to the cause of the club. Now they are out of the top 4. And looking at the teams in the top 4, look, it might be difficult with 5 games to go. They are not doing well away. You went to Olympics as a Kotoko, a venue that is new to Olympics because that's not their initial home grounds. The initial home grounds was at Accra Sports Stadium. They claim themselves to be the landlords. Now they are Kotoko, a venue that even offer when they were playing over there. Kotoko was going over there to pick up favorable results. You went there and lost by 2-0. Some of them, for the last 5 games, they won just 1 game for the club. Now with 43 points, Halifax with 45 points. You look at Medema 47, Bechem 48, and then Indiana Stars 51 points. So these are the 4 clubs, and with all of them, at least you are guaranteed that you can be able to get points picked at home, apart from Halifax, onto the same club. So for me, I think the players have to be committed to the cause. If not, look, after the end of the season, and this club is not able to get into the top 4, some of us will have something to tell these players. They have to take their last 5 games as finals. It's only in this country that it's difficult for clubs to pick up points away. And if you want to win the league, you only pick up 1 point. How can you do well in Africa? Gone are the days when Kotoko used to win both away and home. But now, no. These players have downgraded this club, especially this season. And for me, it's high time that we tell them the truth. You've heard about, that is, 3 different managers this season. Zebo came in and thought Zebo wasn't doing well. Orlando Willington came in for some 1 match, and now Ghazali. With all the managers, yes, Liverpool are not doing well. So we put the coins aside. We thought Zebo wasn't good. Zebo is now in Burkina Faso. Orlando Willington came and won 1 match, and now Ghazali is in as an interim head coach, and the same sequence of event is happening. So what are the players doing? In Fege, last season was in around the goal. This is about 1 or 2 goals that he has scored for the club. Savitel has been there for years now, but yet still the same thing. Nothing to write him about. The back line too, considering goals left, right, center, as if they are drinking Gary. The only limelight in this season for me has been Ferry Kasari. Even with him, the last game against Tamale City, he was at fault for the goal. But I'll pardon him because he has been good throughout the season. Dalal Ibrahim, the same thing. He's supposed to be the experienced player in the team, but yet still the same thing. So for me, the players have to make sure they'll back up their performances. If not, like I said, some of us will have something to tell them. Let us know your thoughts on this content, and also thank you for always taking and staying with us. We promise you to be back with the best of the best. Now that we are back, we promise to give you back-to-back content on this channel. Please, if you want to subscribe, kindly subscribe, and let us tell the Kotoko players that there is Kotoko and not any mean team. Thank you for subscribing and watching our content. Adios, gracias, muchas, bye-bye.